Hello everyone and welcome to My Hobby Home. My name is Cathy. Welcome to our first sew along for 2025. I'm so excited to get started on this. And guys, I'm going to tell you, if you don't have equipment working for you cutting your fabric out, I don't know how you cut all of this out. This pattern calls for 5 fat quarters and some yardage. Let me see what we have. And how my fat quarters came, they came in 9" by width of fabric. So, I mean, that is the same as a fat quarter, but how to get the number of cuts, it did not work. So you need an actual fat quarter. But if you don't have an actual fat quarter to do this, then get a 1/6 one. That will work. So that's kind of what I did. I actually had a charm pack and cut it down to what I needed. It calls for 5 fat quarters, 1 yard of dark. I'm saying dark because this is what I used. It calls for navy Swiss dot, but that's not what I used. And then you need a white background. I used white because I had white. Let's see what else we have. Then you have 1/2 yard binding and 3 1/3 yard backing. So what we are doing tonight, now, but let me show you what I mean about having your equipment cut for you. I used my AccuQuilt, and I know not everyone has an AccuQuilt and cannot afford AccuQuilts. It's not within their budget. Completely understand. Completely understand. Before my husband surprised me with this, which he got it for a great deal off of eBay, maybe. I don't know. He found it online. He got it he paid for my studio plus about 30 different dies, less than half of what the studio would have cost brand new. So it was a great deal. But I used it to cut all of my fat quarters up, and you'll see I just stacked them like in a star here. But these are my 5 fat quarters. These are my background triangles. I think those are like setting triangles. And then these are my squares. I use my AccuQuilt doing all of these. Now, I will say, for this size, I am only able to find the 1 cut at a time block. I may have to request this to be custom made for this size, because I've noticed I do cut a lot for this size, and it would be really nice to have a block that would cut at least 9 of them out at a time. Now, these pieces right here, my Stripology, worked wonders for these. And these are kind of your sashing, or it's the dark color that joins. It's really even hard to see there. But what we're starting to do tonight is we are taking our white squares and we are going to put them together with a dark fabric. So we're going to have 2 white squares with a dark fabric in the middle. So I am just going to get started by laying a white square with a dark fabric. Now we have 20 blocks. So what I'm going to do is take a white square and a dark strip, and everything is sewn at 1/4 inch. We have 20 squares that we are making like this, so we actually need to do 40 of them, and that's going to be half of them, because the other half, I'm hoping I don't have too many extra of the little black squares. Well, I actually think I have 100 of those. And we didn't need but 80, but we will figure it out. So what we are going to do is just keep sewing these until we have a total. I'm going to say 40. I'm hoping I don't go over that 40, but for some reason it had me make a lot more of these little strips than 40. But what I'll do tonight is just give you guys an hour, and that way we don't have too much on this. And if I'm not done with my white blocks yet, I will continue on until I'm finished with them. And then we'll go to the next step next week, which will be putting the two sets together, unless I finish them tonight. This could be something that goes really fast, but I don't think it will be, because you have to press out every one of these. And it does state press them towards the sashing. And I will definitely have to count them out, because I think when you cut how it tells you to cut, you cut a few too many of everything. And I don't want to be sewing a few too many of everything. So, if you get what I mean. But this black and white, it is also a Sweetwater fabric. I love Sweetwater's fabrics. I love their colors. I love their designs. I have to say, it probably is one of my favorites. Now that I've been, working with quilting fabrics, I have to say Sweetwater is one of my favorite. I don't know what they're called, a designer or a company. I don't know what they're called. But it is one of my favorite to get a line of fabric from. Because it just seems so traditional and seems like it would go with anything. It seems like you can pair anything with it. It's so pretty. But I think the fabrics that I have are actually a Christmas line, which is okay, because y'all know I love Christmas. I just love Christmas. But we're going to just get these going. And guys, let's see. This is our first sew-along. Can you believe it? Of 2025. 2025 is already here, guys. Can you believe it? It just does not seem right that time just goes by so much faster than it used to, I think. And I know it's going to be no time, and my grandbaby's going to be graduating high school and having babies of their own. It just, they don't, because I think back, I was just thinking today about when my children were babies. And it doesn't seem that long ago. But I tell you what, doing my house clean out, I realize exactly how long ago that was, because I'm like, I can't believe I have this much stuff in my house and it's been here this long. But I am letting go of things. I'm sharing my stash with people, because unless it's something I really want to make, I don't need to be holding on to it. And I will be trying to get, more projects kitted up this year, and hopefully I've already had one finished for this year, and I have one at the long armor for them to quilt it, and then once I get it back, I will bind it. But I'm working through my bin to get my finished projects done, finished completely. And you'll see I still have my cotton cuts behind me. I still have not put the borders on that. That will probably be the last one I do, because it covers my design wall behind it. And I may have to pull my design, right now what's on my design wall is the land that I love that Tammy and I are doing. And once I start assembling that, then some of those pieces will be coming down, because I only leave those up there until I start assembling, and then, or assembling the rows. Not necessarily the whole quilt, but until I start assembling the rows, because once I assemble the row, I can put it away, and then when I start to assemble the whole quilt, that's when they'll come back out. Because my design wall is not big enough to do a full quilt. I am working on getting a better design wall, so that's in the works. But right now it's just my design wall fabric over a board. But it works. I mean, that works right now. It works fine. But it is sitting on my project boxes, and I have to be really careful moving them around, because if I'm not careful, it may fall over on me, and then all my pieces go crazy. Guys, also, I didn't think to tell you, I will pre-record as always when I go out of town. But I am hoping somewhere about mid-January, my sister and I will be taking us a little trip, like we always do every year. She and I both said we needed us a little trip after Christmas, and we just decided the prices were really affordable. We go to an Airbnb. We have a particular gentleman that we stay in his Airbnbs down south. And yes, we're going. We're so ready, and we're hoping there's snow, ice. We don't care. That's preferable. We prefer to have some snow and ice. But we have two places that we know we want to dine at. And I think she already has our reservations for the first one. And the other one we'll eat on our way back home, because they have the best pie. But then I'm hoping I'm going to try to find some thrift shops, and I'm going to see what kind of quilting thrifts I can find. I do have those linens that my local consignment lady gave, because she was fixing to throw them away. She was about to put them in the garbage. And I'm thinking I'm going to make some pillows covers out of them. Or I may even frame them. I just love the linens. But I know the tablecloth one I really like. I'm going to see if I can get that tablecloth. Now, I don't mind the aged look of the fabric, which means I don't mind that it looks a little cream colored instead of white. Because I can put that on my table, put a dark tablecloth underneath it, and my table is square, so I could put a dark tablecloth underneath it and put that round tablecloth on top of it. But I'm trying to get it where when you come in, we come in our back door, trying to make it where there is a location to put things instead of bringing them in and putting them on my dining table. Because right now, my dining table catches everything. I probably just need to put a garbage can there and throw it all away. If it lands on my table, throw it away. Because I don't put stuff on my dining table. Except for the mail. And that way I know I'll go through the mail. Well, right now my dining table does have canning stuff sitting on it that needs to go out in my shed. But it is so wet out where I live right now. It's still wet. But we will get to it this weekend. That's why I'm doing multiple videos in one day. So I can take a day and work just in my house. Do laundry. When I need to sit down and take a break because my back is hurting, I could sit down and do laundry. Keep it working even when I'm not working. Yeah, these are going fairly fast. Which is nice. So what do you guys have planned for 2025? I know some people don't have anything planned. I mean, is there like programs at your local library that you think you may like to join? Are you in a quilt group that may be doing something? I know our local library is giving a master gardener class, which I'm not a master gardener by no means. But I have a friend that goes to it. Every time they have one, she goes to it. And I told her I need her to teach me a few things because I need to grow stuff this year. Now, I will be sitting down within the next week or two and planning out my garden and what I need to do to it to get it ready. Because we just let our garden overgrow and die. And now, like this month, I will be pruning back my asparagus. And next month, I will be cutting my roses all the way back down. Because in the zone I live in, you do that in February. So I will be cutting my rose bushes all the way back. Because you do a half prune on them in October and a full prune in February. As long as I'm able to, that's what I'm going to do. But this year, I will have to go to my daughter's as well. So what I'm going to do, we're supposed to have a freeze come through. And if y'all have been watching any of the weather, y'all know there's like an Arctic blast coming through the central part of the states. And it's going to push down just over us a little bit. So I'm going to wait for that to come through. And then I'm going to cut back my asparagus and I'll go to my daughter's house. The house that she purchased actually has an established asparagus bed. I told her she did not know how lucky she was to have that. Because she loves asparagus, but she had no idea that's what it was. But, you know, I guess it's okay. She's got a garlic bed also. Because it had some garlic left in it. And I told her if all she did was left the garlic in there that's in there, that it would continue to spread and grow in there. And, you know, and she could plant garlic every year if she wanted to. Let's see, like behind my dad's house, we have a garlic bed that is wild garlic, I think is what they said. He said they didn't plant it, but it's grown there my whole life. I can remember It was around a big tree back there. And when we moved here, I say here, when we moved here, not into my house, but when we moved to this area, my dad, we moved into my grandparents' old house. And my dad put a dog pen around this tree that had the garlic around it. And you know what dogs do. They dig around in the dirt. And they dug those garlic bulbs and threw them everywhere. And now there is garlic everywhere out around that tree. So this year, I'm going to try to catch it and process some of the garlic and share it, you know, with the family. Freeze it, mince it up, and then freeze it. Because I cook with a lot of garlic. I don't know if my family does, but I do. I cook with a lot of garlic. Just because garlic is supposed to be real beneficial, like to your lungs and stuff. So, that is what I do. But anyway, boy, I went off on a squirrel, didn't I then? But is there anything that your local community is doing that you think you might participate in? Or is there anything else like that? I know I signed up to be part of the Zoological Society in a neighboring town where there is a zoo. And mainly because I want to carry my grandbabies to the zoo. And this way, I will be able to take them free. I know I need 40 of these because there are 20 blocks. And I will have 40 with a white, a sashing, and a white. So I'm going to have to count these out to make sure I have 40 of them. Okay, so I do have 40 of these. So what I need to do now is press them. Once I get them pressed, I will bring you guys back. I now have all these pressed. So now the next thing I need to do is add another white piece on there. And we can finish our conversation. What might have been just 2 seconds for you was 15 minutes for me. So my memory may not be exactly correct, but I think we were talking about things that maybe we were going to try to do in 2025. I am thinking one of the things I may try to do is see if I can't whittle some time out to go to my local quilt shop on Fridays. They have classes. And I know they have them on Saturdays too, but I know Saturdays will not happen. I just am not available on Saturdays. But I am available on Fridays. And I may be able to squeeze one in here and there. And if I'm able to, I will get with the shop owner and see if it's okay if I do a little bit of recording, not the whole class, but just kind of bring you to see what we are doing. I will probably do a lot of voiceover just for privacy for everyone. Not everybody likes to be recorded, and I would never record anyone without their permission. And like I would never record the instructor or any of the instructions or anything like that. I would just show you what I was doing. Because most of the time you do pay for the pattern and everything. They kit up for you what you need. And I know right now they are doing, is it the Riley Blake sew-along? It's a sew-along. I can't remember who it is, but I know they had the fat quarter bundles for the sew-along. And I had thought about doing the sew along, but I don't know. I may do it and just do it, here, but I keep thinking about it, and it's like I have so many things going on. I don't need to add anything new. And I had kind of told myself that this was the only thing new I was going to be adding for right now until I got some other things finished. And I have my box that has all of my projects that need to be finished right here behind me. It is actually holding my Green Fairy Quilt 12 Days of Christmas. I'm still missing a couple packages, and I checked on them, and I think just a day or two ago, they hadn't even been shipped. So they probably still hadn't been shipped. But once I get all of them, I will show you all the super duper deals I got with Green Fairy Quilt. And y'all, I went to Shiplap. Is it Shiplap Quilt? Something like that. For their Friday sale, they had a beautiful bundle. And it sold out before I even got to it. It showed one still available when I went. And when I went to check out, it was gone. It was like a $90-something bundle for $48. And it was blue. It was beautiful blue fabrics. So then I ran over to Green Fairy Quilt to see if they had this same bundle, and I didn't see it. But I did go in just to their sales. I may have to go and check and see if they had it regular. Or I may have to check with my local quilt shop to see if they have it. And get a fat quarter bundle cut up for me. I don't know. They don't always get fat quarter bundles. But they do get like charms, and they do get layer cakes. But not normally they get mini charms, and layer cakes. Every now and then they get some fat quarter bundles. They were saying they were having trouble getting some of their Moda fabrics. That they hadn't even gotten everything that they had ordered for November. So, and they had not gotten their December yet either. What they had ordered for December, they hadn't got yet. So my guess is Moda is a little bit behind right now on getting everything out. But I have some beautiful surprises coming in from Green Fairy Quilt. I mean, they're just stunning. And one of the things I got, I am going to do a sew along with it. I'm so excited about it. And it is, I will just say, I bought a pattern from Green Fairy Quilts, and it is a paid-for pattern, so you'll have to buy the pattern if you want to sew along with me. I can tell you where to go get it, but if you don't want to buy the pattern, that's fine. You can still sew along with me, like we're doing right now. You don't have to do the Preppy. You can do anything you want. You could be finishing up projects, or hey, just listening to me while you do house cleaning, because I know tomorrow I'm going to be doing some house cleaning. That's going to be my cleaning day. I was thinking I was going to try to record, but I really don't have to record that much. I'm going to try to get 4 more videos out between today and tomorrow. But because I will have to go back to work after Sunday. I think I'm going to have to just add the clean out as part of my daily routine. I come in, I eat, I do a little recording, or if I need to, do a little office work in here, and then do about an hour of clean out. Because I will tell you guys, my bathroom is the hardest one, because it is so hard for me to throw away products, and I don't know why, but it's got to happen. I'm still under my sink, and my sink has six doors under it. It's a double vanity, so it has 6 doors under it. I'm still under door number 1, but I've got so many different things going on in my bathroom though. So it's not like I haven't been doing anything at all. I'm also trying to reimagine my bathroom, or redesign my bathroom. I've ordered a towel rack, because I want to get my towels out of my linen closet, which, I know that's what a linen closet is for, but I want to get a few towels out of there. And if I can get these few towels out of there, because right now as it is, I have 2 sets of towels in my bathroom that I use. And they're both really good sets. They're high quality towels, and they're not coming to pieces or anything. They're not old and ratty towels. They're good towels, because I don't have old ratty towels. I put them in a bin for my husband to use cleaning the car or something, something outside. If he wants to put extra wrapping around our outside faucets, like he will have to do this week, what he'll do is, I have a bin that has old dish towels and old towels in it, and he'll take that and wrap it around the faucet heads and put a bucket over it. He'll tape a towel on it. And when they come off in the spring, they just go in the garbage, because by the end, it's time for them to go. But we have a box of scrap rags like that. But anyway, I have 3 hanging things that I need him to do. And once those get done, I may be able to do a little more in my bathroom. I'm still throwing stuff away. It's just if I see stuff in there that can be thrown away, I throw it away. But I haven't really spent any time the past 2 days on it, and I really need to. But I'd rather be sewing, guys. But I've got my garbage can in there, my big garbage can out of my kitchen. Well, it's not a big garbage can. It's a kitchen-sized garbage can. And I'm just grabbing stuff. If it's got product in it, I dump it. I dump it down the sink drain or down the tub drain. I'm going to be throwing away a lot of perfumes, and I'm going to be throwing away a lot of bodies. Now, I've thrown away a lot of lotions already, but I just need to get rid of stuff. If I don't use it, it needs to go. Because we just have way too much stuff. And I have about 10 boxes of Band-Aids that I need to consolidate into one little box. Or, well, it's more than enough that'll fit in a little box. But I need to get me one of those square jars that has one of the wood lids on it or something. I did that with my baking soda and my Epsom salt and my bath salts. I have jars that I put all of that in. And so that the jars that I was using, they were mixed matched jars, and I'm just getting rid of them, putting them in the donate box. Somebody else may be able to use them. But it's time they leave my home and find a new one. But that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get things simplified so I don't have so much. Now, I mean, I have got a huge storage bin. Well, it's not huge. It'll fit under my linen cabinet of nothing but bath soaps. Who needs that many bath soaps? But I have them, and I have a lot of them. So what I put them in a bin, and I have told my children, if you need a bar of soap, because I know most of us use bath gels and stuff now, but most of these bars of soap, I looked at the ingredients in them just to make sure they don't have strange chemicals. Because if it had strange chemicals in it, I'm just throwing it away. Because we're not going to be putting that on our skin. But most of them are like good shea butter. No vegetable products in it. You'd be amazed at the chemicals and stuff. And one of the things that I have found in my health journey, I know it looks like I'm losing hair still, like right here, but that's silver, guys. That's my grays. It looks like my scalp, but that's actually grays. I don't know, it could be my scalp, but anyway, one of the things that I have noticed since I quit using my regular shampoo and I went to an organic, chemical-free shampoo. I mean, y'all are noticing I'm having to clip my hair up. It is growing insane. Now, I will say it has been itching like crazy, but I'm thinking that may be new hair growth because it comes in spurts. It's not all the time that it itches. And I've had it checked and, my scalp is fine. So it's probably just new hair growth. I mean, there's no irritation, no nothing. But my hair was falling out because I was using a shampoo that had chemicals in it. And it was a shampoo I've used probably since I was out of high school. That could be why my hair got so thin. But I mean, once I graduated high school, I was not much organic eating. Because when I was in high school, we grew and caught or hunted what we ate. And I am not that old, so don't think there wasn't a McDonald's when I was growing up. There was pizza places and things like that, but at home, we cooked and we ate what we had. And we made one, because we were so far away from a big town. The town we lived in, you didn't want to buy groceries there because it was very expensive. But we would go to town. I say town, to where there was like a super Walmart or a large grocery store chain. And, you know, like my mom, they would buy like their paper products, like paper products, cleaning products, sugar, flour, things like that. You know, basic staple things. But as far as food, now every now and then we would buy onions and things like that. But our meat was caught and killed. And a lot of our vegetables were grown. And we would do what they called go in halves. You could go out there and pick, and like if you picked 2 bushels, 1 bushel would go to the person that owned the field. And there was a place where I lived that did that. I mean, they grew a huge garden. It was an elderly couple that did it. They grew a huge garden, but they weren't able to pick it. So they would have it set up where people could go on halves. So then they would still be getting produce out of their garden, but they were on halves. You know, somebody else would benefit and they would benefit. And the man, he was able to plant it on his tractor. He could plant the field on his tractor. But, I mean, we did peas, tomatoes, all kinds of beans that way. And here I am talking about gardening, and we are sowing. But that's okay. It's part of life, you know. I mean, guys, I have gotten the first step done. That is to get all of our white squares. And next week, what we'll do, we'll sash these and make these into like a 4-block. But this is all we're going to do today, is just get our white squares with 1 sashing in the middle of the 2 of them. And next week, what we will do, we will take, let me see if I can open it up for you. We will take these and we will put one of these sashings below it, and then put another white block below it. So we will make our 4 squares with our sashings. Now, we did have a lot of the small sashings left. We have a small sashing and a long sashing. I believe we're going to use the other small sashings for our 5 fat quarters. This is going to conclude our sew along today, and thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I will have a group in our Facebook group. I'll have a post for this sew along put out there. I've been so bad about it. Yeah, I've been so bad about the Facebook group because I've been so busy, but I'm going to try to be better. And I saw somebody else, I watch the Hillbillies, and they're out of Tennessee, great couple. They have a son and a daughter, and the son is special needs, but you would never know it because he is smart as a whip. And fabulous couple, though. They have been fighting a lot of internet issues. I think somebody tried to close their page down. But I saw today, Sean is his name, and I'm trying to think of her name. Only reason I remember Sean is because the guy who sews. Because I remember Sean. Oh, goodness, I want to say her name is like Melissa or something like that. I can't remember it. But he said he is getting off of TikTok completely. So I haven't dared to try other social media platforms. So guys, thank you once again for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this sew along. Even if you're not doing the preppy with us, that is perfectly fine. You are a-okay not doing that. Just it's fabulous that you come and sit and listen to the chat, and feel free to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet. Click that notification bell so you don't miss a thing for 2025. We are going to have a lot of fun things going on this year. I'm still rolling it over in my brain. Am I going to be doing something different? Am I going to be adding more embroidery to the platform? What am I going to do? So you can leave a comment and tell me something that you would like to see. And if I've never done it, I can try it. The only thing that I probably will not do on the channel is sublimation. I do have a sublimation printer, but I've kind of backed away from doing that. But mainly like quilting, sewing, and embroidery. That's kind of what I'm staying around right now. So if there's something within that realm that you would like to see, feel free. Tell me that you'd love to see me try something, and I'll see if I can't pull it up and do it. You know, I'm willing to try just about anything that is craft related. So I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. And I hope 2025 is treating you great. Bye, guys.